This morning on The Dish, the foods of Eastern Europe may conjure up images of potato and borscht. And the cuisine isn't as globally renowned as that of Italy and France. But Ukrainian chef and writer Olia Hercules is working to change that perception by tirelessly documenting the recipes and food of her homeland and its neighboring regions. Imtiaz Tyab has her story.
Olia Hercules knows how to feed a crowd. At her pop-up in London, she delights diners with an array of Ukrainian dishes.
I'm super excited to have you here. Enjoy.
But it's the humble and hearty dumpling which captivates taste buds here.
And more dumplings are coming.
At her home kitchen in the British capital, she shows us the art of making the perfect parcel.
So you grab this corner first.
Okay.
And then we just stick it here.
So just like
just
that.
Just like that. And then
tell
again.
This is not the most beautiful dumpling
No,
ever made.
It's good. It's good.
Hercules says her journey to chef and cookbook author truly began when her family moved from Ukraine to Cyprus when she was just 12 years old. Later, moving to London, she gave up a career in journalism to work in some of the city's best kitchens. But it was the food of her childhood which she wanted to share with the world.
A lot of people do maybe see Eastern European food as quite monolithic. It's borscht, it's dumpling.
It's potatoes.
It's potatoes and cabbage, and that's it. But clearly not. I mean, you were able to write 3 cookbooks about it.
Right, no, exactly.
2014 was supposed to be one of the happiest years in Hercules' life. She had just signed her first book deal. But her joy soon turned to horror as Russian tanks rolled into eastern Ukraine, not far from her parents' home.
It was the most terrifying time of my life. Not a fearful person at all, but when that happened, especially because my family just an hour and a half away from Crimea, so if it was to move forward, would be next. So of course, kind of waking up, it was terrifying. It was the worst time for all of us, I think. But
it also triggered something inside you to want to preserve something so personal to you, which is your family's recipes.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know, stars aligned in a way that the whole first cookbook deal.
Mamushka became a bestseller and won major awards. It was followed up with Caucasus, a culinary journey through Georgia, Azerbaijan, and beyond. And now Hercules has a 3rd cookbook, which was published this year, called Summer Kitchens.
What they are 1-room little houses, which look very similar to your main house. And they're usually situated just a few steps away, in your yard. And this is where you'd cook during the summer, because it's cooler to do it there. Is when all of the jars would come out and all of your glut, like all of the produce, fruit and vegetables would be fermented, pickled, etc. So it's, it's a huge operation.
I was going to say, this is a lot of work.
There you go. You've got this very special kind of kitchen workshop. And I wanted to look at how Ukraine is very diverse, but also united by this tradition. So even though food up north and down south may vary, we have this summer kitchen where all of the cooking is being done.
Dumplings are at the heart of Hercules' cooking, like manti, filled with lamb and fenugreek. Gulhalun from Central Asia, bursting with sweet potato and apricot on yogurt. Then there's her favorite.
These are called vareniki.
And what's inside the vareniki?
So we've got potato and cheese, dill.
Cheese, yeah.
And I actually added a little bit of spinach because I had to use it up. So, it's traditional, just with a little bit of...
That is so good. I was not expecting such strong flavors to come out of that. What's it like when your family's together and you're preparing a meal and then sharing a meal with each other?
So, vast amounts of food, and the huge extended family would get together. And sometimes they'd be laughing, and sometimes they'd be crying, and sometimes some singing would happen, and and I feel like I'm just forever chasing that feeling. And maybe that's why I became a chef and a writer, just trying to bring back all of the emotions that kind of situation gave me when I was a kid.
For CBS This Morning Saturday, Imtiaz Tyab, London.
She gave us such an insight into not only the culture, but, you know, a sense of like longing for her homeland. So.
And she just made me very hungry.
All looks delicious,
I heated up
right?
leftovers, which are not nearly as good as what she made.
No, incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very good for you levtovers too. We might add fresh vegetables he likes in the morning.